The matchup for Super Bowl 56 did not go according to script. The Cincinnati Bengals, AFC number 4 seed, will be playing the Los Angeles Rams, the NFC number 4 seed. Cincinnati will be traveling to Los Angeles in SoFi Stadium for the game, but it is designated as the home team. The Rams are the slight favorites as unofficial hosts, according to FanDuel Sportsbook. Bengals coach Zach Taylor is a protege of counterpart Sean McVay. Quarterbacks Joe Burrow and Matthew Stafford will each be trying to become the first quarterback wearing a number 9 jersey to win a ring since Drew Brees. After an amazing series of playoff games through conference championship weekend, there should be every expectation the Super Bowl will be thrilling and therefore difficult to call. But we here at Strictly Sports, we've been making a fearless forecast of professional pigskin prognostications all these years. So why stop for the biggest game of them all? Here's how we see Super Bowl 56 playing out from both sides of the ball. Hello, friends, and welcome to this very special edition of Strictly Sports. As tonight, we are here to preview the biggest sporting event of the calendar year, the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 56 that will take place this Sunday night on NBC from SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Second year in a row, we are going to see the stadium's host venue, the stadium hosting the Super Bowl, the team that plays in that venue, to literally be the home team once again. That being the NFC champion Los Angeles Rams. On the other side, the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. Will it be Super Bowl number 2 for the Rams franchise to go with the one they won in St. Louis? Or will it be a first ever Super Bowl championship for the Cincinnati Bengals and the first championship for the city of Cincinnati since the Cincinnati Reds won the World Series all the way back in 1990? We're going to answer all those questions and then some here tonight. So let's get the obvious schematics out of the way first. The game will be on Sunday night. Kickoff at 6:30. NBC. Also streaming on Peacock. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya, Catherine Tappan will be on the call. The Rams opening up as 3.5-point favorites. And the FPI favors the LA Rams to the tune of 66.3%, 66% going with the Los Angeles Rams. That's what they say. What do we say? Let's find out right now. We're going to break it down into 7 categories. Bengals offense versus Rams defense. Rams offense versus Bengals defense. X factors. Special teams. Coaching. Intangibles. And the final score and prediction. So with that, let's throw a small bit of backstory when it comes to these two teams. Obviously, they have never met in the playoffs before because they're not in the same conference. They've met each other 14 times. And the Cincinnati Bengals lead the all-time series 8-6. Their last meeting was in 2019 in Los Angeles. And the Los Angeles Rams came out on top. 24-10. Actually, that game was in London, England. So here we go, guys. Let's start it off with our first category of the night. Bengals offense versus Rams defense. The Cincinnati Bengals, despite Joe Burrow being the first quarterback to lead the league in time sacked to get to the Super Bowl, have a dangerous and diverse offense. Burrow does a great job to buy time and extend plays with his feet. Coach Zach Taylor and offensive coordinator Brian Callahan haven't been afraid to let Burrow loose, looking for big pass plays even with the sack risk. They also have proved they can pivot well and be a strong power running team with Joe Mixon when needed. Burrow uses good matchups both inside and outside to his full advantage. Cincinnati's offensive line had its best game of the playoffs in Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. Burrow did make a few great escapes, but he was sacked only once, and the team rushed for 118 yards, despite trailing by double digits in the second half. The massive concern versus the Los Angeles Rams will be 3-4 defensive end Aaron Donald disrupting the game plan inside. With the focus on his dominance, he's also getting good help up front from nose tackle Greg Gaines and Super Bowl 50 MVP edge rusher Von Miller. Burrow needs to be quick in getting the ball out of his hands and avoiding Jalen Ramsey in coverage as much as possible. There should be the sense that Ramsey will be mostly covering dynamic rookie wide receiver Jamar Chase, the center of the attention for every secondary opposing the Bengals. But Burrow proved against the Chiefs he's fine treating T. Higgins as a co-number one. He also has Tyler Boyd, his backs and tight ends for shorter routes. Burying Burrow is difficult. He's cool and tough in the pocket and throws well on the move. He can get hit and keep popping up to make money throws in clutch situations. Having the explosive balance from Mixon also helps. The Rams will have their moments, but the Bengals will have more. So in this regard, I say advantage Cincinnati Bengals. Good old MF Michael Fletcher. About time for another Super Bowl for us. We have done tons of these now. To get another one to add to our scrapbook. The Phil Simms to my Jim Nance as always. For the first of 7 times.
Yes.
Do that thing I like. Hello, friends.
Okay. When it comes to Cincinnati's offense versus the Rams defense, this is actually a little bit of a mismatch. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, Cincinnati has done really well and they should be doing all right. Problem is their offensive line is not that great. And the Rams defense, as you know, Anthony, is one of the top defenses in the NFL, especially when it comes to pressures, when it comes to hurries, when it comes to making players feel a little uncomfortable, especially in the pocket. And especially when you got 2 dominating defensive linemen at the front 4. When you have Von Miller, oh, by the way, Super Bowl MVP in Super Bowl 50 for the Denver Broncos, and Aaron Donald, multi-time Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL. Unfortunately, he did not win it tonight. We'll get into that next week. I believe this is going to be one of those moments. And Cincinnati also Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times against Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. So you kind of have to think about this defensively more than anything else. Yes, you can get Boyd. Yes, you can get Jamar Chase. Yes, Mixon will have his moments. However, the Rams defense is going to clutch. And when it comes to crunch time, they're going to rise. They're going to do something crazy in this game. So for me, I respectfully disagree with you, Anthony Florio. I'm actually going to go with the Rams defense to win that battle over the offense. Yes, the offense will get some points, but I think the Rams defense is going to shut down the Bengals offense. And I do believe the Rams defense will win that battle when it comes to the trenches. So for me, I disagree. Rams defense gets the check mark for me. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, this I got to go with Mike Fletcher on this one. I got to give the edge to the Rams defense because, I mean, like you said, Fletch, the offensive line for the Bengals isn't all that good at all. And I mean, as you've seen this postseason, he's been sacked. Joe Burrow's been sacked 9 times, and look at who this offensive line's got to deal with, especially that tandem of Von Miller and Aaron Donald. So that could be a big time problem for them. I mean, yes, the Bengals offense will get some plays in there, but it could be a long afternoon for the Bengals offense. So I'm with Fletch on this one. I'm going to go with the Rams defense. And yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. Florio, it's time to flip-flop and talk about the Rams offense against the Bengals defense.
And Girl MF Michael Fletcher will lead off that discussion. So MF, who do you like in this regard? MF, are you there?
Sorry about that. All right, when we go to the opposite side of the ball, this is where I got to give the Rams offense the advantage. Number one, you got Matthew Stafford. Stafford is a really good quarterback, and he's proven it now. You know, a lot of people were like, oh, he's good, but he could never win the big games. The reason why was he was with the Detroit Lions for so many years, guys, and the Lions were not that great. So, Sean McVay takes a humongous risk, blows all his first-round draft picks, and gets Matthew Stafford. And what does he do? He rewards them by playing some pretty good football, but he's also a liability. He has been known, if you flush him, if you get into pressure, he has been known to make the mistakes as well. However, you got a lot of forces going in this way. When you got Sony Michel and you also got Henderson as your running back, a good two-headed monster type of attack that you can go with. On top of that, you got I think it's Tyler Higbee. Higbee is the tight end who's also good. The two men who I believe will have a monster night in the Super Bowl is going to be Odell Beckham Jr. and more importantly, Cooper Kupp. I believe these two men are going to shred the Cincinnati defense throughout the night. And this is why, even though Cincinnati can get their moments, and I do believe Matthew Stafford will throw an interception in this game. He will be picked off because of the fact that Cincinnati got 9 INTs already going to the Super Bowl. This is the entire postseason. 9 INTs. And I do believe they picked off Patrick Mahomes twice in the AFC Championship game last 2 weeks ago. So trust me, he could definitely get some moments where if Matthew Stafford starts to feel a blitz, he feels something, he does have the tendency to throw erratically and make a mistake. If Cincinnati has a hope to win the Super Bowl, this will be one of those moments that he's going to need. But I do believe Matthew Stafford will be cool and calm under the lights in SoFi because this is technically his home turf. I believe Cincinnati will not get the job done on this one. I got the Rams offense winning this category. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I definitely got to go with the Rams offense. I mean because of look, you got Matthew Stafford and Odo. I mean, that running game of Sony Michel and Cam Akers, and of course in the receiving core you got the acquisition of Odell Beckham Jr. and, oh, by the way, guys, a man who just won the offensive player of the year in Cooper Kupp. So, and And here's the thing, guys. Remember the last time the Rams were in the Super Bowl? It was Super Bowl 53. They had some. I mean, yes, you had Robert Woods, you had Brandon Cooks, but who was one of the key offensive players that was missing from that game? Who was it? It was Cooper Kupp. And who knows, he could have made a difference in that Super Bowl. And he's playing in this one, and I predict he's going to have a monster game in this one. So, yeah, so to me, I got to give the edge to the Rams offense. So, Florio, it is yours.
The Rams centerpiece is wide receiver Cooper Kupp. Everything else flows from his uncanny connection with Matthew Stafford. He has proved he is matchup proof with the way he can dominate running after the catch inside on shorter routes, all the way through stretching the field outside with his size and vertical speed. The Bengals, like with the Kansas City Chiefs, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, will be more about playing containment with him and Odell Beckham Jr. Bending and not breaking will be key, as the blitzes will be calculated so Kupp can't go into maximum burn mode. Los Angeles can run the ball well with whoever's in the backfield. The offensive line has looked better in run blocking than in pass protection of late. The Bengals will try to get pressure again with only the front four, led by relentless defensive ends Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard. At defensive tackle, DJ Reader is also a big-time run stopper, and B.J. Hill had major impact versus the Chiefs. The Bengals aren't as strong as Ramsey's Rams at cornerback, but they have more active safeties and linebackers. That said, Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford will find matchups and plays like they like often, much like the Chiefs did for at least half of the AFC Championship game. The Bengals just want to contain here to give Burrow a chance to match Stafford. I'm going to make it unanimous. I agree with you guys. Advantage, Los Angeles Rams offense. Next up, X Factors. Michael Bullock, who has the advantage when it comes to the X Factors?
Now, Florio, is this the X Factor overall or for both sides?
X Factors in general. Who has the advantage?
Okay, the X Factor for me when it comes to this game, my X Factor is going to be, and I'm going to center it back to who I just mentioned moments ago. It's going to be Cooper Kupp. I mean, if he can be that guy that he has been all season long, I think he could lead the Rams to a Super Bowl win here. So, but then again, you got so many other weapons. So, the Rams are going to. The Bengals are going to try to double team him. But then again, you got so many other guys in Beckham and yeah. So to me, my X Factor, I think is going to be Cooper Kupp. So Florio, it is yours.
Bullock. That's great. But what I meant to ask was, which team do you think has the advantage when regarding the X Factors? Which team has the bigger?
You should have mentioned that.
Yeah, my apologies.
So it's which team?
Yeah, who has the advantage? Which team has the advantage for X Factors?
All right. Thank you for clearing that up, Florio. So
Sure.
Yeah. So the team that I think is going to have the X Factors in this one, it's plain and simple. I think it's the LA Rams because you got so many guys who can come up with a big play offensively, whether it's Cooper Kupp or Odell Beckham or defensively. I mean, it could be anybody with Aaron Donald and Von Miller, and we can't forget about Jalen Ramsey too, with what he can do. So, yeah. So to me, the team that I think that has the X Factors, I think is the LA Rams. So now, Florio, it is yours.
All right. Joe Burrow's young it factor comes into play first versus Matthew Stafford's experience and execution. The Bengals have had their share of unsung heroes with an impact defense by committee and receivers such as Tyler Boyd and Samaje Perine boosting the offense. The Rams have found extra juice in their passing game with young wide receiver Van Jefferson and tight end Kendall Blanton. Zach Taylor will have more knowledge of Sean McVay's play calling tendencies versus the other way around, given how much input Taylor gets from Callahan on scheming. So, Bullock, I respectfully disagree with you. I say the Cincinnati Bengals have the edge when it comes to X factors. So, MF, you're the tiebreaker. Who has the advantage? Which team has the advantage with X factors?
I actually got to go with Cincinnati on this one. This is the one time where I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one because I do believe that Cincinnati does have bigger X factors. Tyler Boyd is one guy that we don't really talk about a lot, who is a very good wide receiver who can come out of the slot position. I think he's going to have a good game in this Super Bowl. And I do believe that there are some other guys that we don't really talk about other than the superstars. So I do believe that Cincinnati will also have it. Plus, I must admit, when it comes to the kicking game, I got to go Cincinnati. That's a major X factor. The kickers in this one, yes, you got Matt Gay, who's very good for the Rams. But if you notice, Cincinnati has relied on the kicking game that's got them as far as they have up to this point. And it's a rookie, oh, by the way. So, I mean, yeah. So Cincinnati definitely gets the check mark on X factors. Anthony, next category.
And it's only fitting you brought up the kickers, MF, because our next category is special teams. And I'm going to start this off. The Rams have a reliable punter-kicker combination in Johnny Hecker and Matt Gay. So do the Bengals in veteran Kevin Huber and rookie Evan McPherson. The Rams have Brandon Powell for punt returns, and the Bengals have light Chris Evans on kickoff returns. McPherson, however, is a big reason why Cincinnati is in this position with his perfect playoffs, also showing great range with nerves of steel. With no weather concerns, McPherson should be money when it counts most again. For me, advantage Cincinnati Bengals for special teams. All right, MF, you started to get a little bit into special teams a moment ago. Now you can go in full.
All right. And you just made my point. You just made every argument that I was going for. Cincinnati gets the check mark on this one. This is the one that I do believe that they should win the battle. I do believe that, like you said, Evan McPherson has been money since the postseason started. He has not missed a kick yet. And you don't want to jinx it. So you heard that? That's wood. God just knocked on it. So that's for you, Cincinnati folks. So don't worry. I'm knocking on the wood for you guys that he will be fine in the game. I hope you guys heard that. If you did, cool. If you didn't, I apologize in advance. But I do believe Cincinnati will win the kicking battle. The special teams advantage, Bengals. Bullock is yours.
Yeah, I think for this one, I'm gonna make it unanimous here. I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Bengals on this one because it's like you said, the kicker for them has been clutch for them, especially the field goal that sent them to the Super Bowl. So he's made some big time kicks for them. So yeah, it's because of all that. Yeah, I'm definitely with you guys. I'm definitely giving the edge to Cincinnati on that one. So nothing more to say. Next up, Florio.
Yes, sir. And to follow up on Bullock's point, let's not forget he also had the kick that sent them to the AFC Championship game as well to knock out Tennessee. So could it happen again? You never know. We'll see. All right. Next up, coaching. MF, Zach Taylor or Sean McVay? Who's your guy?
This is easy for me. No doubts about it. Sean McVay. This man has Super Bowl quality. He has been to a Super Bowl before. Remember, a couple of years ago when they lost to the Patriots. And the thing was, he overcoached. He thought too much of the game. He thought of every little thing, and he overanalyzed. And even in his post-game press conference, he said, I made a lot of mistakes that I normally do not make. I overanalyzed things. I over prepared for the game, and that's why our team lost when they lost to the Patriots a couple of years ago. He knows exactly what he needs to do. He knows what buttons to press. He just needs to focus, get out of the thing, and not worry about him. You got 10 players from the Rams, from that last Super Bowl squad that was there just a couple of years ago when they went up against the same New England Patriots. This is why I believe that Sean McVay is more ready. I think he'll be more prepared. And I do believe that as good as Taylor is for Cincinnati, there's nothing that I can say about Sean McVay that he has not done. He has been so masterful in his strategy, in his schemes, with everything that he has done. He has been, without a doubt, one of the best coaches in the NFL. I think what he has done personnel-wise by basically loading the team up with what he's got, with the intangibles that he has used, and used it to the best of his abilities, and has coached so well to get him to this moment. I believe Sean McVay will get that moment in the spotlight, and I do believe that he will be the better coach on Sunday night when we're talking about the Super Bowl. So for me, this is a foregone conclusion. Check mark, Sean McVay, Los Angeles Rams. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm with you, Fletch. Hands down, the edge definitely goes to Sean McVay. I mean, people call him the boy wonder for this team because ever since he was named the coach of this Rams team, he has changed the whole culture of the team. Because Florio, I mean, what were the LA Rams before Sean McVay showed up?
Nothing.
Exactly. They were nothing. And ever since he became the coach, he has made them that Rams team that that were once fun to watch back when Dick Vermeil was the coach.
New Hall of Famer Dick Vermeil, oh, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. New Hall of Famer Dick Vermeil. So yeah, and it's just amazing what he's done with this offense. I mean, what he did first with Jared Goff, and now what he's doing with Matthew Stafford when they acquired him. So hands down, no doubt, the edge definitely goes to the Rams and Sean McVay. Florio, it's yours.
Zach Taylor once served as Sean McVay's quarterbacks coach. He, Callahan, and Bengals defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo are upstarts in the playoffs. Sean McVay, who took a different staff to Super Bowl 53 against Bullock's New England Patriots, including Zach Taylor and the legendary Wade Phillips, has gotten great help from offensive coordinator Kevin O'Connell and defensive coordinator Raheem Morris. Two men seasoned well from other organizations. I too will make this. I am going to make this unanimous. LA Rams, Sean McVay, they get the advantage when it comes to coaching. Next up, intangibles. Michael Bullock, who has the advantage?
What are we talking about, Florio?
It's intangibles. Which team has the advantage in the intangibles?
What are the intangibles, Florio? That's the
I can help you with that. Unable. It's unable to be touched or grasped, not having physical presence. So.
Oh man, man, that's a tough one for me. Um, Florio, if you don't mind, I'd like to sit out
I
of
will
this.
lead off. I will lead off. I got you. Take your time.
Okay.
The home field advantage in Los Angeles doesn't exist for the Rams, no matter how much the league and the team would make you believe. This is also not the typical game at SoFi Stadium, as it will lean more to neutral site at best. The Bengals fans are by far the more impassioned, and playing for Who Dey Nation will continue to lift the spirits of their team, which has been playing with house money all season. Cincinnati seems to be operating with less pressure on it as a rising young team with Joe Burrow, while LA is stockpiled with all-in veterans from other teams around Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp. The Bengals are a smart young team with Burrow and also won't beat themselves with bad penalties or turnovers. Burrow's championship pedigree and demeanor counts volumes after knocking off Patrick Mahomes in pursuit of being on the level of said Patrick Mahomes. My intangibles advantage goes to the Cincinnati Bengals. MF, let's help Bullock out here.
All right, guys. So is this it? Is this the moment, Anthony? Or
It's the intangibles. The next one is the prediction.
all right, intangibles. Well, the way I see it here is that when it comes to intangibles, I got to give it to the Rams. There's too many weapons, too many guys that you can rely on in this game that I do believe it's going to be better. When you got, a good quarterback, two good running backs, a receiving core, and a tight end, a good offensive line that really keeps Matthew Stafford upright throughout the game, and a defensive core that I really think that there's just too many weapons on the defensive line. Two all-pro up front at the start. You got Jalen Ramsey, one of the best safeties in the game, in that back with leading that defensive core. I'm sorry. I just don't see how the Rams don't win that battle. So I'm going to check mark the Rams. Anthony, it's yours.
All right. So Bullock, after the arguments that MF and I have made, hopefully that helped you out. So just pick a winner. You don't have to go into any detail or anything. Just say who do you like? Which team has the advantage when it comes to the intangibles, and then we'll go into the main event.
Yeah, after hearing everything that Fletch said, I'm going with the Rams on this one. So now let's get to the main event.
And I'm going to reset the rotation because Bullock was supposed to start on that last one. So since I am the quote unquote lead announcer of the game, I'm gonna take it for a spin first. So all right, main event time, boys. Our prediction and final score. If you want to throw in MVP, we can do that too. But anyways, although it would be a nice story for Matthew Stafford to win a Super Bowl right after his 34th birthday in his first season with the Los Angeles Rams after all those fruitless years with the Detroit Lions, the NFL is a league tilting toward the AFC's young guns, with the sun setting for the GOAT, now in the NFC, Tom Brady. Patrick Mahomes has a ring. JA-17, Josh Allen, and Justin Herbert might get into the mix very soon. Burrow, only 2 years removed from his Heisman and national title run at LSU, has the old school cool swagger tied to Super Bowl Joes of the past, Joe Namath and Joe Montana. At 25, he looks like he's been in the league for a long time. The Rams have a solid defense, but they have enough holes to exploit for Burrow to outduel Stafford, setting up Evan McPherson for the game winner late again. I don't know if it's going to be at the end, if it's going to be another walk-off at the end of regulation or overtime or what have you. Even though my gut is telling me to go with the LA Rams, because they are the home team and on paper they're the better team. You guys know me. I love underdog stories. And if I'm wrong on this one, I'm okay with it. I believe in the Cincinnati Bengals, and I think this is their time. I think the third time will be the charm. They came up just short in Super Bowl 16 and 23, both against the San Francisco 49ers. 16, not as remembered as 23. 23, of course, one of the greatest Super Bowls of all time. Montana to Taylor, we all know that story. And the Rams, the LA Rams lost their only other Super Bowl appearance, two other Super Bowl appearances as the LA Rams. Super Bowl 15 to the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Rose Bowl, and Super Bowl 53 against both Patriots. They did win 34, another all-time classic. The infamous 1 yard short, and MF knows that story, when they beat the Tennessee Titans. But I believe the third time is the charm. This Bengals team has captured my heart. They've won my heart with their guts, their heart, and their determination. But it's more of the heart, and it's really more of the heart and guts that sold me on this team. I mean, beating the Las Vegas Raiders was one thing, but going on the road against the top two seeds in the AFC, the Tennessee Titans, and the team that we all thought, especially me, the team that we all thought was going to be possibly the next great dynasty in the NFL, in the Kansas City Chiefs, to go into both of those houses and win. My respect for the Cincinnati Bengals went up sky high. And it's because of that, I believe they can do it again. And if I'm wrong, whatever. The Cincinnati Bengals, I believe, will steal Super Bowl 56 and pull off the ultimate. I mean, winning in Nashville and Arrowhead was one, in Nissan and Arrowhead was one thing. But this would be the biggest of it all. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals to win Super Bowl 56. My final score, 30-27. The Cincinnati Bengals defeat the Los Angeles Rams and make history and win their first ever Super Bowl championship and the first professional sports championship for the city of Cincinnati since the Cincinnati Reds won the World Series in 1990. 31 years. It's a long time for championship celebrations in the city. So with all that being said, and if I'm going to give an MVP, I mean, it's one of two for me. It's either going to be Joe Burrow or Jamar Chase. I mean, my gut tells me Burrow because they 9 times out of 10 love to give it to the quarterback. But I'm going to say Jamar Chase is going to be the Super Bowl MVP. So with that being said, MF, is it going to be a second overall championship for the Rams as a franchise to go with the one they won in St. Louis? Or are the people of Cincinnati going to celebrate a professional sports title for the first time since the 1990 Reds won the World Series?
This is tough. I mean, this is interesting. I will openly say this. Anthony, I'm not surprised that you went with Cincinnati. It seems like everybody's going with Cincinnati right now. The majority of the country is rooting for the Bengals. And it's because of that story. Being in the Super Bowl for the third time, first time that they could possibly win the Lombardi. And a lot of people kind of not really sold on LA. Not many are sold on the Rams. They think that there are gaps. They think that there are issues with the team. And remember, Cincinnati is designated as the home squad for the Super Bowl. Even though, yes, the game's in SoFi Stadium, they're not the actual home team. It is actually Cincinnati who's the actual home team for this game, being in a neutral site. I think it's going to be a little bit of an interesting situation, but I hate to say this, but I do believe the Rams are going to win the game. And it's not because of what you think, not offensively. I think Aaron Donald is going to be a major disruption in the game. He's going to get to Burrow. He is going to sack Burrow. I think Aaron Donald And we haven't had a defensive MVP for a few years now. I think the last time we had it was Von Miller.
Right.
In Super Bowl 50. I think Aaron Donald will be the MVP of the Super Bowl. It is going to be low scoring. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as you had it, Anthony. 17-13, the Rams wins Super Bowl 56 and collects their second Lombardi trophy alongside, like you said, Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce, and the greatest show on turf back in Super Bowl 34, back in 2000, when they won their Super Bowl. I do believe that this time around, it will come back 22 years later, and it will be the Rams hoisting the Lombardi for the second time in their franchise history. So I got the Rams winning it 17-13. Aaron Donald, the most valuable player of the Super Bowl. Michael Bullock, you got final say.
Oh boy, this is a tough one. I mean, the Rams. Yes, they are the favorites, and they have the edge on mostly a lot of things. But there's something about this Cincinnati Bengals team that's really caught my attention throughout this run. Yes, they were able to beat the Raiders, but to go into the home of the number one seed, Tennessee Titans, and to upset them there, but then you take it up another notch and go into one of the toughest places in the National Football League, Arrowhead Stadium, and you beat a team that's could be the next dynasty in the Kansas City Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes in that offense. Man, it's a tough one for me, but I've been riding high with the Bengals since obviously the big upset wins over Tennessee and Kansas City. I'm sorry, Fletch. I'm with Florio on this one. I've been riding high on Cincinnati since the beginning, and I'm not going to stop now. Cincinnati wins Super Bowl 56. I'm going to go 20-17 on a game-winning field goal as time expires. Florio, it is yours. Oh, hold on. And my MVP, I'm going to go with Jamar Chase.
All right. Very good. So with that being said, that will put the bow on this very special edition of Strictly Sports. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in all throughout, not just the NFL season, but the college season as well. It's been an absolute joy and an honor and a blessing to bring you all these shows for the last several months, whether it was College Football Thursday or whatever night we did the NFL show on, NFL Saturday, Friday, what have you, football feast, the whole nine. We want to thank you all so much for your support all season long, and we can't wait to do it again come September. We do it all again. A week from tonight, we return to regular Strictly Sports shows, various news topics, coaching carousels, hot stove stuff, and what have you. So, we'll recaps. We'll recap this game next week. We'll also look at the NBA All-Star stuff next week, and we'll figure it all out. We'll come up with a game plan, and we'll get back to you on that. But for right now, that'll do it for this. We'll next be with you tomorrow night, 11 p.m., right back here. Well, actually, no, it'll be on Good LMF's channel, Michael Fletcher's channel, Braves Fan 95, for another all-new edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk, as we will review Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Rampage, as always. And then we'll be back. And then after that, we'll see you Monday night for Ridiculously Raw, the go-home show for the Elimination Chamber from Monday Night Raw. as well as my my thoughts on Impact Wrestling and 205 Live and my Tony's Take. Wednesday Night Mayhem, NXT 2.0, and AEW Dynamite as always. Vengeance Day for NXT 2.0, and then Dynamite as always as well. And then, like I said, next week we'll have our recap of the Super Bowl plus some other stuff to get into when we return to our regular regulation shows effective next week. So that's it. So until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk over on MF's channel, BraceFan95, this is Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher and Michael Bullock. And in spirit, Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Friday. And until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk, keep it watching this very special edition of Strictly Sports, our preview of Super Bowl 56 right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio. So long. Bye, everybody. Bye.